Just wait for some people to come on. I think we're live. I'm like, must have been. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Hello Paul. All right, Rob says, how you doing? Just waiting for a few people to come on. How you doing, everyone? I just felt like I wanted to come on quickly and just, because I'm going to be releasing the final edit. Most of you, well, a lot of you, any of you that have watched my stuff probably saw what happened on Saturday. But yeah, listen, it was a long live stream. It was a 4-hour live stream. My intentions there were of good nature. Wanted to find out why they felt it acceptable. Yeah, to support an organisation that's been subscribed by the UK government. So yeah, my intentions there were to find out what had gone on, and I was astounded, actually. I mean, it was quite sad. I very much felt like the majority of people that were in the middle of the crowd, I very much felt like I was in a nursing home with a load of, you know, really old people, and that's exactly what I was there with. And it was difficult to understand how all these people have all, and it's just this, they're manipulating, brainwashing and using our old people in this country to further their political, I mean, what is the benefit of that? Why would you use elderly people in that way when it does nothing for your cause? It was quite sad to see. And then to see the organisers of the pro-Palestinian marches, you know, that I've seen throughout all of these marches, standing on the sidelines going, yeah, we're so proud. Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave. And you're like, you're so brave. What have they done that's brave? You manipulate them to come into London rather than spending time with their grandkids, to sit down. So it's quite sad. It was quite sad. And then when I actually questioned the organisers of this pro-Palestinian events in London, and then what you saw later on in the evening is all the real weirdos came out and they caused chaos down in 10 Downing Street. And then I wanted to talk about what happened towards the very end. I mean, the video, I don't know, you couldn't really see it in the video, but I was stood up, this is before it all went a bit mad. Well, I stood up and I was saying to the Muslim gentlemen that were all stood there with their flags, with all their Palestinians, I said, why are you guys not over there sitting down with the cause that you so, you know, highly, you know, value, and you're here, you know, why are you using OA pensioners? And as I turned around, the gentleman that was in front of me smashed my phone out of my hand. So obviously the phone fell down. And then I was, you know, what are you going to do about it? You're going to do something about it and all that. And I just want to be very careful, you know. I'm not doing any of this to get arrested and to look like a thug. That's the last thing I want to do. Anyone that knows me knows I really don't want that. You know, I'm willing to go into the lion's den. I'm willing to get the truth out of it. The last thing I want to do is look like a real, you know, an aggressor, because I can keep my cool. I mean, a lot of you know some of the stuff that I've done, I've kept my cool. In that situation, I was surrounded by at least sort of 7 to 8 fellas that really wanted to have a go. And you have to behave as an English lion to be able to get yourself out of that situation. Because you show weakness in that situation, they bounce on you and they'll, you know, you'll end up on the floor and they'll all be kicking you. There was no help from the police whatsoever. The police were, you know, the police, when it comes to these groups, the police don't really want to do anything. They don't want to, because the mayor, you know, they've now recognised Palestine as a state. They're scared. It's very much seemed like scared. And the waste of police time on that day, for the police just be walking in and just grabbing people, you know, the whole thing's just, you know, it's a waste of time. You know, at least when we protest, we're protesting over serious concerns that anyone that's got children, anyone that loves their country can see the passion and the patriotism in everything that we do. What they're doing there, that is just complete waste of police time. So yeah, I've got the unedited version of it, to the edited version of coming out, but I just wanted to just say hello. It was a hairy day. I got a lot of messages from a lot of you after, so I really appreciate the appreciate the concern on that. But I was fine. It's not my first time. It won't be my last time. I've got to be careful. I've upset a few people in the family about going there alone. But the problem is, the problem is, if you go there with anyone, if I turned up with 3-4 handy lads, if I turned up there with 3 or 4 handy lads, it would go off. And then it would look like we've gone there to have a fight. And that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to go there. I don't want to get violent. That's the last thing I want to do. You know, I'll protect myself. That's the boy running with the boxing team. Yeah, so I got to really, I go on my own because I can get in and out. You know, if something goes pear-shaped, I haven't got to worry about someone that's with me. If you know, so that's, I know it's a bit silly because it's still on your own, but I think of it as a way of, I'll bring a couple of my good mates and it all kicks off. You know, their wives, you know, why did you take them down there? So I don't want to be a burden on anyone else. It works because like I did on that video, I can leave straight away and it's done. There's no one with me. I'm not looking for anyone. You're out of sync. Am I in sync now? Let me know if I'm in sync. Can you still hear me, see me? Let me know. Yeah, you're fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I took a bit of time away. Really it was to just establish the business that I own. It was the last years that I've done this on a real sort of, I do this, I don't think of anything else. And that's a problem because I have to pay my bills and I have to look after my family. So I went away, I created a business that sustains itself and I'll be doing more videos now and going, you know, I think it's time. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. We've had enough. I've had enough. And I think that, you know, pussyfooting around, be careful what you say, be careful what you do. No, I think we're past that now. We need to see what's going on. And there's a lot of citizen journalists, a lot of lads that I've seen, especially people like young Bob, who really, I've got a lot of respect for him. But there's a lot of citizen journalists that do a lot of great stuff. I think. Yeah. So yeah, the next one's going to be some big protests. There's going to I'm trying to find out what's next for the big one. I'm getting a lot of messages about that, and as soon as I know anything, of course I'll put it out there. But you know, at the minute I know that Tom's working on his court case that's coming up. I'm going to be going to that court case. Anyone that can make it, Tommy's court case. I want to say the 13th. Don't quote me on that. I can't actually remember. If anyone in the chat knows what day it is that Tommy's going to court, I am going to be there. I think it's important that people are there. I'm going to be reporting on it. Hopefully get some words from him after. This is what they do. You know, he does this where he unites the country. Everyone is, you know, rather than him concentrating on what the next step is. Yeah, it's the 13th. Okay, it is the 13th. Okay, 13th. I want to make sure I don't put anything wrong out. Yeah, so I'll be there. But like we just, you know, they tie him up in court cases. This is what they do. They've done it for, well, as long as I've been involved. And that was 2018, so it's a long time. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting out there again and doing some good stuff. I'd like to start going undercover with some other stuff. I'm not going to say what, but there's some things in the pipeline that could be quite funny. I think humour. I get we're in a serious situation, we are, but it's also very good to show how crazy the other side are and keep those videos coming in. And I think it's important. I think it's important because you know, the media and everyone, they call you this, they labels, like the majority of the country think exactly like us, and that was so clear. You know, on the last Unite the Kingdom march, I mean, you can't doubt it. It's, the message is clear. The thing that we need to do is make sure that the consistency is there, and the continued consistency, because these issues that we're highlighting, they're still there, and they're they're present every day. And I think it's important that we do as much as we can to keep that pressure on things. You know, we need to make a plan of what's going on with these political parties, because we need to we need to know what the masses are going with, and we need to get behind it. You know, these are chances that we're not going to have again to really bring our country back, and that's political. That doesn't change the fact you need to expose how others are operating, especially with, you know, some of the stuff I know Tommy's got coming up. So yeah, but I'm ready for another one. I know a lot of people are. Yeah, so Speaker's Corner this Sunday, that's another one I'm doing. I'm taking a table down there to Speaker's Corner. I'm going to sit down and going to put some banners up, probably some paper, and have some discussion. Speaker's Corner for me is one of the places that really highlights the other side's views, and if they really open up, they really make an idiot themselves. Sometimes I'll make an idiot myself. Sometimes you've got to take the good with the bad, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Any questions? Let's have a little look. Yeah, do you know what? I didn't realise it was 4 hours. I really didn't. When I came off it, and I thought, 4 hours. It's a long time. You know, I asked a couple of family members that also watched the whole live, and they were like, some of it you're a bit, but a lot of it was funny. So I was a little bit worried about what I'd done or what I'd said. But I mean, the fact that I got assaulted and I'm the one that got the marching orders, I felt that was a bit mad. That really was a bit mad. But yeah, so the live has been cut down. There's a guy that's contacted me called Patriot Designer. He offered to edit some video, and he's done a really good job. He's shown me some snippets of it, so it'd be good, because that's something I struggle with. You know, the delivery of the videos. I think it's important to have people around you that can do that, because of the quality of some of the quality of the videos that I do is not great. But then again, it's the reason why is because I go on my own and I have to record things myself. And when things start going a bit sour, the camera sort of goes down because I'm concentrating on what's in front of me. When really, maybe I need someone there that's sort of away from me. But we'll see. We're working on it. You know, it's just good to be back and just to be able to have an input in all of this, because I think it's important. You know, we only get one go at this. When we're old in 20, 30, 40 years and we can't do any of this anymore, we're going to look back and we're going to hope we did enough. Because our country's in a terrible, terrible state, and I think we need to get behind Epping. I've been watching very closely what's going on in Epping. I think we need to speak to people there and see if they want a mass demonstration in Epping, because they're not letting off, and I think they deserve the support. Things like that, and there will be other places around the UK that will need the support as well. And I think now, because of the numbers and everything that's going on, it's important that we get together as much as we can, even if it's not in massive numbers, even if people can travel within like an hour of radius of where they are to support other people. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you talk about peaceful protest, what it is, my response to that is that what happened in September, what happened at the Unite the Kingdom rally, that there sent absolute shivers down the spine of the establishment and everything that goes with it. You know, they know that the vast majority of the British public do not align with the way that they are governing us. They do not align with the way that their political party is set up. The people that are at the top of the political party, they don't agree. You know, there is no relationship with the public. They know that now. So the next 3 years are very important. I think even sooner than that. I think if we don't take a hold of this, what's going on with these hotel situations, it's going to get brushed under the carpet. Things are going to slowly slow down, and things are going to start happening, and it'll be too late. We can't fight it. I think as well they're going to Is it true? I heard someone tell me yesterday they're starting to try and to ban protests outside of the migrant hotels. If that happens, yeah, that's where the beginning of all the madness will start. It really will. We can't wait 3 years. You're right, absolutely right. But we need a plan. We need people. We need what the left do very well, and it's something I've always advocated for. Not for the left, but the left, they unite. When it comes to it, all the unions, all the head of these weird organisations, they all come together, they sit around a table and they come up with plans. That's something I don't feel the right are doing enough. I think there is some of it, but I don't think they're doing it enough. A lot of people want to be sort of the centre of attention for what it is, and that's fine because that's leadership. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're at the top of their entity, and there's other different entities. And I think if you had everyone at the top of the entity all just sitting down and going, right, what do you think? What do you think? What should we concentrate on? At the minute, everyone's sort of trying to do their own little thing, when in reality, it could be a lot more organised and a lot more could work for it to all to work a little bit better. But that just comes with progress of everything that everyone's doing. I think it's just, yeah. But Hyde Park will definitely be the location for the next one. I was in Hyde Park not last Sunday, Sunday before, for Charlie Kirk's memorial, and it's huge. I mean, we would fill that place. It would look like a concert. But the power of that, I mean, I'd be willing to attend something like that every month. I mean, imagine attending something like that every month and just showing that we are angry and we are frustrated and doing it the right way, and then pushing that into something else that we could use to really, yeah, show, without being violent, because it doesn't work. Not in these day and ages. This isn't the tax riots. You can't. You'll just end up in prison. You literally will. You'll literally end up in prison away from your family. You cannot get violent these days. Yeah, you know, I know there's responses to things that people are doing, but just going out and being violent, it just won't work. You'll just end up in prison. So taxes, I think not paying council tax. Imagine half a million people not paying the council tax. But I don't know if that would work. There's all sorts of things that could happen. But sticking together, keep getting out there and attending things that are going on is important. I think we need a central hub for that as well. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Half the time I have to look around searching. I think you need a central hub where people are putting on different things that are happening in their local area, especially with the raising of the colours. That is I want to go and see the Don. I think his name's the Don, Ross Don. I'd love to go and spend the evening with him and just see how he gets up to what he does. I think he's a great guy. Yeah, doing local ones. I mean, again, there's so many stars, all the stars have aligned for this. I think there is an opportunity for people to really gather and show strength in local areas, like they have done in Epping, like they've done in all sorts of places. Southampton, I've seen stuff, Portsmouth. So yeah. But anyway, I've got to do some quotes and do some paperwork, so I'll leave it there. I just wanted to say hello. But yeah, I'm going to get, there's going to be a video coming up just with the edits. I think it just does all the best bits, gets rid of all the camera downs, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to have a look at that, have a look at that. I wish you all well. God bless. Remember, Christ is King. And if you can, go to church on a Sunday. Much love to you all. Take care.